tin of cereal. I don't really get the scientific process behind it, but I'll go with it.
And so someone mentioned the spork. Here it is. We're not going to use it quite yet.
Shake it, baby!
But that's, I think, a good opportunity to talk about kind of some other stuff that Charles Jacoby contributed to this game. So the weapons in this game obviously had to be made a little bit more kid-friendly. They actually started out looking kind of like plastic guns, like toy guns, like a Buzz Lightyear kind of thing. And the Czechs shot that down because it looked too violent. And then, so they changed it to kind of look like a remote control. This was one of the changes. So instead of a chainsaw, you have an electric spork. And it's a pretty good time to use it there. So another thing that got shot down was originally they were going to be using bits of fruits and vegetables to pacify the phlegmoids, so you'd shoot like banana slices or strawberries at them. But they actually had concerns that would cause kids to start food fighting, so that got shot down.
Shake it, baby!
We probably have time for one more donation, Butters, just before the end.
Thank you very much, Sam Kablam, for the $10 donation. Thank you for playing one of my favorite PC classics from my childhood. When's the HD remake with Battle Royale mode coming out?
So as Peaches goes into the final segment here, he's going to have to open like 6 or 7 doors and go take out all of the, they're called Armored Phlegmoides bipedicus monsters. And, but there's going to be one in the next door who's way at the back, so we gotta go search for him.
Yeah, we gotta flush them out. Sometimes when these phlegmoids get aggroed, you can kind of have them walk towards you, but you always gotta go and fish that guy out yourself.
And that's the evil final boss, the Phlegmbrain, changed from the Baron of Hell, and still has 1,000 health. So if Peaches has 40 Zorch, he can come and take it out in a single shot.
Okay, get ready on time. Here they are. Time. So we did it. We Zorched every phlegmoid, we uncovered every secret, and we rescued the citizens deep within the caverns of Bezoik. So the mission continues at checksquest.com, which is actually still an active website. It sends you to checks.com, but it's still there. We still believe. And something that I also wanted to show off a little bit is that, so this is a Doom total conversion, so you can use some commands, for example, like map E1M1, that takes you to landing zone, right? Map E1M5, you know, that's caverns of Bezoik. But normally the game stops here, but it turns out that this is just a modified Doom, so you can go to, for example, map E1M8, and you might recognize this from 2 runs ago. So it just loads the Czechs assets into the Doom level. And they just straight up, you know, instead of the Barons, they have the Phlegmbrain. And the thing is, though, I think they're like supposed to be scripted to walk out, but I think they're a little bit too thick to get out.
I can't believe they put the sound for that.
Yeah. And you might remember at the end of Doom, in this level, you were supposed to walk onto kind of like a goat skull pentagram portal. Instead, you walk onto the sigil for the Intergalactic Federation of Cereals. And that will send you here, and the phlegmoids will get their revenge. So, in an alternate universe, that might be maybe how the mission ends. But that's it. That's Chex Quest. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, GDQ, for taking a chance on this one. And also, thank you for putting this into the Doom block instead of the Awful block. Appreciate that. And
Not an awful game.
yeah, just want to give shout-outs to my couch. Thanks for hanging out. Shout-outs to the viewers. Shout-outs to Bianca, Brett, Rami, any of my buddies who are watching back home. And yeah, thank all of you for watching. And also thank you for donating to meet this incentive, because I think this is way more fun of a category than UV Speed, just because it's such a short game. It was really nice to kind of like show off a little bit more of the game. So again, thank you all for watching, and yeah, appreciate it. Thanks.
Final time 122, or final time 10:22. Good job, Peaches.
Thank you.
Perhaps I
Thank you very much, Dig Beta, for the $50 donation. Chex Quest won me over. I'm from Chex Squadron, and I volunteer.
Select.
Waiting order.
Thank you very much, B. Weber, for the $250.
Share your thoughts with me.
Waiting order.
Construction
Vehicle reporting. Changing position.
$40 from Anonymous that says, doctors are pretty cool. I think I agree.
Waiting order.
Construction
We will bury them.
construction options.
Vehicle reporting.
Our base is under attack.
Let's take the guns for a spin.
Our base is under attack. Repair. Our base is under attack.
$25 from June 13. Always glad to see you during every GDQ day up there. Keep up the excellent work, everyone.
Yuri is master. Alpha waves ready.
All right, everyone, put your hands together for Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut with Just Flandra. All right. So, Sonic Adventure DX. Should we just get started when I say go?
Loading up the
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is gonna be Sonic's story. It's a, he has the most technical of all 6 stories, other being Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Gamma, and Big. And we're immediately starting off with Chaos Zero. He's a very easy boss. You just have to stand in certain positions, and he will immediately recover after you jump on top of him. For that one, you were just standing right in front of him. This one, you stand in his puddle, you'll recover. And this, he's going to jump on the top pole. You just go over here, he will jump right back down, and he's done. Easy boss. And now I'm just going to go through Emerald Coast. It's kind of a linear stage, but that's going to give me time to talk about the game itself. So this game, when it was originally on the Sega Dreamcast, it had different kind of collision and some things like textures, and the game itself was kind of, when it was ported, the collision itself wasn't ported, perfectly, and that kind of caused a fair amount of new skips that you can do for the game. And you'll see me going through a lot of areas to where I can just, flip right through instead of having to go through other areas. You'd have to take a linear route. And you may notice I'm spin dashing exponentially fast. That's because the spin dash button is mapped to 2 buttons, the X button and the B button. If you mash both simultaneously, you can just gain double the speed, and you can just keep doing it continuously, and you gain a lot of speed out of that.
enlighten me.
Construction complete.
He has taught us well.
Yeah, this stage is pretty linear. There's just a few skips I'm doing around, but once we get out of Emerald Coast, I'm going to be getting the Crystal Ring, and the Crystal Ring is an upgrade that would typically charge a Lightspeed dash meter faster instead of having to wait. But not only does it do that, it also actually makes Sonic go a little faster, and so if we get out of the way now, we can save ourselves a lot of time throughout the rest of the run. And I'm going to be getting Crystal Ring by showing off a clip by going through the pool wall, and then I'll just end up in the elevator to get that Crystal Ring. So I'm going to switch to free camera here because there's some sections in this game where the camera kind of just wants to do its own thing. Give me a second.
I am but a student. Hail to the great
Come on.
Yuri.
Unit ready.
There we go.
Has taught us well.
Ah!
No.
I hate when that happens.
I am but a student. Learning the path.
Structure garrison.
There we go. For real this time, I swear. And they will Crystal Ring. And now we're going to be doing another skip to go to the casino early. And you just kind of just jam yourself into the with the wall of the spin dash, and then you can go to the casino. So, who likes pinball? Who likes playing a nice long game of pinball, collecting rings, collecting 400 rings to get to the end of the stage? Do you? Well, I don't. I'm just going to go through this wall instead.
Oh.
Throw spin dash. So yeah, initially for this stage, you want to collect 400 rings through the pinball machines, and then deposit into the vault to get the Chaos Emerald. But instead, you can just spin dash up that. You might be thinking, well, now you're stuck, dummy. No, I'm not. I can just spin dash up these stairs. Ah. And there you go. Back out. And now we're going to go to Egg Hornet, the second boss, and he's actually a very easy boss. And Draco, if you want to explain the boss for them, you can.
Yeah, sure. Egg Hornet, like Flandre said, it's a fairly simple affair. For the first approximately 20 seconds of the fight, you're really just waiting around for him to open himself up to be able to be attacked. You do need to avoid some missile volleys like this. I think there's a little bit of RNG involved with his movement, but when he attacks right here, you want to get fairly close to him to shorten his travel path, and then by mashing the attack button like this, you can just keep him locked down for a one-cycle fight. As long as you keep attacking him, he doesn't actually lift off the ground.
And now I'm going to mash this cutscene and hope the game doesn't crash, because this game can actually crash if you spam that cutscene too fast. Weird crash, I can't really explain why it does that. It just decides, well, no. It's a Sonic game, yeah, essentially just that. And now we're going to go into Windy Valley by throwing this Windstone into there, switch to auto camera, and when I started off, I'm going to be taking a path that Sonic's not typically supposed to take. It's used for another character, Iwano and pretty much we take it because you don't have to go through like a wind turbine and then a trampoline, it's all slow. So you can just spin dash to that, go through this, and this is pretty much Gamma's section, and he would have objects there, but they're not loaded for Sonic. And now we're in a tornado because, you know, convenience. And I'm going to hold down here because then I'll immediately end up on the spring right here. And then I'm going to spin dash on this jump panel because when you do that, when I let the jump panel's like animation finish, I can just do a homing attack on that and I can just land right onto the spring. And I'm pausing right there because Sonic has more, when you transition out, you're like in the sky for a bit, and Sonic's kind of just taking a while to fall, so you can just reset the stage and you can pretty much save yourself there a few seconds. The rest of the stage is kind of linear except for the very end, which will be in like a few seconds because I kind of just do a nice little leap of faith and you don't see the stage for a while, but then it's like, oh look, there's a little, you know, foothold for Sonic to be on. You can read probably one donation until we get to that though.
Let's see here, we got $25 from Dragon. Another day, another donation. I woke up specifically to catch the Sonic block, one of my all-time favorite segments. I can't wait to see those fast games get even faster. Good luck to all the runners, especially just Flandre.
And there's the Emerald. Hi, Tails. How you doing, buddy? You're in my shot. And now we're gonna go get the Lightspeed shoes in the sewers, and then right when we do that, we're gonna go right to the casino. And initially, you're supposed to do Casanopolis after you finish Windy Valley and get the Lightspeed shoes. But since I already finished Casanopolis, it's just going to transition immediately into a cutscene instead.
Yeah, a weird thing about how this game generally progresses is that you, as you're seeing, you can really choose where to go to a certain extent, but certain game events will not play and certain loading zones will not be available until you've triggered certain flags in the game, essentially.
Yeah, because there are some instances where you can enter some stages early and some cutscenes are playing, but eventually it's just going to stop you and you'll just get soft locked. I should also point out that the route I'm taking is called Pass Route, which is the route the TES uses, as opposed to two different routes, which is the linear route and the glitch route. Linear route is basically, you know, the stage-to-stage, the normal route. And then there's glitch route, where you're doing a thing called time trial glitch. And time trial glitch in this game is basically where if you enter some stages early and then enter the first two stages, some stages in the time trial selection will be unlocked, and you're able to play through those even though you haven't unlocked the stages yet. And then through the when you go back to the story mode, you can enter that stage and then exit back out, and it says, okay, you already beat the stage. But I don't like going for that route because it is actually kind of slow, and you do have to deliberately die in one segment just to continue the story, and it's kind of dumb in my opinion. But some people like it. It's all preference. And I'm going to go through Ice Cap, and I'm pretty much going to do a skip on every act here. This one, I'm just going to do a spin dash of this instead of having to go through a little cave to get inside. Spin dash too much. And now I'm going to do a clip where I immediately just take a left, take a right turn, and just go right through the story.
Clean.
Collision is good. And now I'm going to do another very long leap of faith here. You can kind of just like run yourself through this wall, and he will just immediately clip through. And hey, look, I'm falling. You might be wondering, well, that's dumb. You're literally just falling out forever. But no, actually, this stage wraps around completely, and with a certain angle, I will literally find myself right to the end of the stage.
And it is considerably faster than just taking the snowballing section.
Oh, it's most definitely faster, like a good 30 or 40 seconds. Maybe more.
There are some kill planes that he needs to avoid here, so
yeah,
well, he is falling into a void, but he's taking a specific path.
Yeah, I'm like slowly turning myself left and right so that I don't hit the kill plane. And oh, hey, look, a stage. I guess we should play through that instead of doing just falling through it. But hey, you know, fast.
This game also has a good soundtrack.
Oh yeah, you literally missed the best song in the game when you take the skip, and that really makes me sad.
I love the ambience.
Oh yeah, gotta love that 4-second loop wind sound in the background. And that was Ice Cap. All right, and now in a minute we're going to be fighting Mr. Knuckles, or as everybody on the internet likes to call him, Oh No. So feel free to get those Oh No's ready when I get to that. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. No. Give it your best. Oh no.
You can actually hit Knuckles too early there and get a phantom hit where it doesn't de-increment his health meter.
Yeah, like, because he has like a few seconds before you can hit him again. If you hit him again after the last hit, you can just keep like repeatedly hitting him for infinity until you decide, he's had enough probably. Yeah. And now KS4 is a really interesting boss to talk about because of the fact that he has this attack where he will just become 4 blue balls around you, and you want to try to avoid that attack, but it's kind of weird to avoid because it's not RNG, but your positioning around him and your distance from him and where you're standing actually matters. Like typically you want to avoid him by standing on lily pads and being like a certain distance away, but not too far away, not too close. He doesn't like his he wants his personal space, and I got
there it is.
Dang.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
it's difficult to gauge exactly how to prevent that, and this wastes I think 8 seconds every time you get it.
7 or 8 seconds, yeah.
I was born for this job.
It's typically the most common on the second and third hit, and I got it on the third one. But that's all right.
Yeah. Aside from that, though, the fight pretty much follows the same pattern each time, where he's going to use a specific number of swim actions followed by an attack, and he does a certain number of those cycles before surfacing to let you attack him.
Yeah. Luckily, each cycle is consistent, so you have to like guess if he's gonna pop up or not. Yeah, KS4 is a boss people just find really annoying because the fact that he's pretty much just an auto-scroller. But something about that auto-scroller is you can lose time from an auto-scroller.
Shake it, baby!
And now we can play with Knuckles. Oh no! All right, Sky Chase. I don't really want to deal with this, so I'm just gonna. What? Wait. Is this the Sonic block or the Star Fox block? What happened? All right, well. Playing Star Fox, might as well play some Star Fox. Unfortunately, I can now do a barrel roller here, though. Now, Sky Chase itself is a really interesting. Oh, hello, selfie. Caught me off guard with that selfie there. Sky Chase is essentially exactly what you see in auto-scroller, and the fun thing about this kind of auto-scroller is if you were to just position yourself on the top right of the screen, I don't have to play at all. I can just let the game do itself. But, you know, people actually came here for gameplay, so might as well do as much entertainment as I can. And fun thing about these little spike ball launchers, they actually can vary your score based on how you hit them and how often you hit them. But it's really inconsistent. But the sad thing about it is, no matter what I'm doing here, it doesn't actually change the time you'd get at the end of the stage, which is kind of upsetting because I kind of want to, you know, just destroy things and then just continue. But, you know, we got to have linearity somewhere in the game. But yeah, with the rest of this, it's probably a good time for maybe 2 or 3 more donations.
Excellent. All right. We have $5 from McMike0399. Really happy as an SADX speedrunner to see Flandred showing this amazing game. Good luck. $25 from JetSeth Radio 230. Hey Flanders, we're all in Discord cheering you on. Good luck, bub.
Options. Building.
$25 from Halo that says, I have an odd hankering for some chili dogs right about now.
New construction options. Construction complete.
Not a great score. You typically get around like 14,000, 15,000, but I didn't really do anything for the first, you know, minute, so that kind of makes sense.
Unit ready.
Also, if you had noticed, I keep spinning around because you can lock onto things multiple times, and when you mash A again, you can actually gain more points out of that. And now Eggman's gonna have a little fun with his own ship. Get the speed of your cart. Also, yeah, that is cart skip. You want to get around 20 to 40 rings because every 10 rings your cart will speed up. And I'm gonna try to get rings as much as I can up to the max so I can like get to the end faster. But yeah, if you lose your rings, it's kind of annoying because then you're like just going slow. And fun thing, after that track skip, if I had hit those monkeys, which are the Kikis, I would lose my rings. And on that jump panel, if you lose your rings and you have under 10 rings on the jump pad, you will actually fall. Despite the fact it's supposed to be a linear path and you're not actually doing anything different. The game just thinks, well, you're not fast enough because you don't have the rings. We're just gonna make you fall. Like, all right, well, thanks again. Yeah, this is a fairly clean Twinkle Park so far. I'm gonna try to do another track skip here called, which is Castle Skip, where I'm skipping a roller coaster section. Wait, did I say Castle Skip? I mean Coaster Skip.
Yeah.
And nice. We got it, and we're not done yet.
Construction complete. Building. New rally point.
Yep.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I want to get a kind of precise spin dash jump up this. Ah, just barely. I was too low. There we go.
Nice. There we go. That entire sequence is a good deal more difficult than it looks.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
If I had not taken that skip, I would have gotten maybe like a 145, and that would have been like a good 20-second time save. But instead, I kind of messed that last skip up a little bit, so I lost a little time. That's kind of too bad. Also, initially, you're supposed to be taking like a little card to go into one action speed highway, but instead, I kind of just want to go to City Hall instead, which is actually just Knuckles' section of the stage. And now this stage actually has a pretty interesting skip because you can just jump onto these buildings. They actually have things up here for you, nice little one-ups, but they didn't realize that you can literally just spin dash off of it and end up like skipping over half the stage.
Spin dash hovering is just so broken.
Oh yeah, spin dash hovering is a thing where if you hold the spin dash, then you hold A and then let go of that spin dash, you actually have 60 frames to like be up in the air a little bit before you start descending.
Yeah, it basically applies the hover type effect that jumping gives you without actually having to use the action of a jump. So you're able to use it with the extreme forward momentum of a spin dash, and it gives you a lot more airtime and distance.
Also, I got that speed juice because it is actually true that getting those speed juice is faster than going down. So a lot of people don't really believe that. Also, wow, I managed to go through all those caution plates without actually getting hit because sometimes they will just hit you or you just get like bumped. It's kind of weird. And also, I'm going to take this nice skip over here because, you know, one-sided collision is everybody's best friend. And yeah, we're done. Sub 110, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Very solid.
And now when I get to back to the city, I'm going to go through the train station instead of having to go through the hotel to get to the train station. And by just applying myself like here a little bit, and there we go. And I got through the trigger there. That saves like a good 4 to 5 seconds to have to go all the way up to the hotel and then enter back out to the train station.
New construction options.
And now we're gonna go get the Ancient Light, which is something we will never really use anywhere else besides one more boss in the game. And you kind of just need to get it just to get it. So I'm gonna switch to, oh, an auto camera.
It is required to progress at this point as well, though, because the loading zone for Red Mountain doesn't actually exist until the enemy guarding the gate is destroyed. And you need the Ancient Light to destroy this thing.
Yeah, you can actually get over this wall without having to destroy the Kiki, but there's just no like stage, there's no load there. And now Red Mountain is another stage that actually has a fair amount of skips. I'm going to try to do one kind of safe because there are a few skips that can be kind of dangerous. Okay, I didn't want to use that spring, but sure, game.
It's
and that thing just, you know, does that to Sonic. And now it's go ziplining for a few seconds. Alright, that was exciting. And I'm going to do another spin dash over up here, jump up to this mountain, and then do a little spin dash jump over here to get up on this. Oh, and hey, look, Act 2.
And there's quite a bit of Act 2 to be skipped as well by using either some of the rocks around here or these tilting platforms, which you can use to get a slope jump.
Yeah, typically you want to go, you'd be like going around the perimeter of the stage like 3 times, and then you finally start like ascending up with the lava rising. Or you can just use that plate and just like get an angle and just spin that jump over it, up on the top. Nah, 103. That could have been a sub 1 if I hadn't hit that spring in Act 1.
And more of this now.
Oh yeah, more everyone's favorite Star Fox game is Sonic Adventure, right? What do you mean no? I really wish I could do a barrel roll here. That would actually make the gameplay at least slightly better for this. But yeah, you kind of just keep waiting more, shoot more things. They have kind of more projectiles. And the fun little thing about the stage is the song itself will like transition out in the original files, and you just hear it loop again. Like a lot of, because of the other versions of the game, it just loops itself normally. But no, because of this version on the Windows computer, it is in .wma file, which is a generic Windows music file, and the song just ends itself once you get near the end of the stage, and it's just hilarious. Unfortunately, I patched it out because I'm a grumpy old man. Yeah, you can shoot things here though from a really far distance, which is kind of hilarious. And the score attacks on these are actually really interesting, because none of the planes are like RNG. Like everything here is pretty much consistent. Even the spike ball here, like here, these are actually consistent. At least if you don't shoot them for a while. And I think the world record for this score is like 40,000 or something. It's actually really impressive.
Are we able to get a few more?
Oh yeah, you can do a few more donations.
We have a lot of, a lot in a certain vein. $5 from Knuckles178 that says, oh no.
Oh no.
We have $25 from Alex Neal that says, oh no.
Oh no.
Actually, you know what? That's all we have that are on there.
I mean, if
it was a lot.
You gotta have some creativity, guys. Come on.
Let's see here. We have $25 from Emma Cooney that says, something bugging you, Flounder? I hope you and the rest of the Sonic runners have fun and good luck on all the runs. It's always a joy to help out.
Something bugging you.
Let's transfer some assets. They have a distraction. I'll carry out the operation.
It's actually a good reference because there's some like cutscenes in this game where they don't properly have their like angle for their animations, and there's just one frame of Sonic where his mouth is just wide open, where he just goes, something bugging you, and it just looks so intimidatingly and like hilarious at the same time. It's kind of weird. Anyways, we're almost at the end of this Sky Chase. And the funny thing about this is this actually does have like a little mini boss at the end. So even though you're going through about 2.5 minutes of side scroller, you can still lose time from said side scroller. It's kind of neat and annoying. You kind of just have to aim yourself in the center, but sometimes your target isn't accurate and you can actually miss the center.
Spinning away.
And now we're just gonna fly out for a second. Even though I think that's just it, moving you manually. And target those. I don't think you actually need to target those, but you know, points. I got hit, so that must mean that I kind of missed the target for a small bit. Oh well. Anyways, yeah, that was Sky Chase. I hope you enjoyed that stage as much as I did. Wow. All right, now we're just gonna have a little fun, little transformation here, and also watch this. If I pause the game, yeah, the ship's just gone. I don't know where it went. Oh wow, it's changed shape. I gotta be careful here because if I spin dash too early, I can enter too early. Oh, that felt early. Actually, no, I think I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, if you enter that stage, you can get a little view frame window to spin dash through that entrance before the cutscene finishes. And if you do it too early, you will soft lock. And I mean, like, the save file itself is corrupted, and it is not fun. What's funny about that is Skyjack is also a stage itself where it has its own little soft lock. Where at the end of the stage, I'm going to do a little skip of the capsule as the gravity's changing. And if I hit the wall in an angle, I will literally have to soft reset the game. And not only with the stage, in Act 2, there's a very random crash that happens, and I literally only got it once this week after running this game for 11 years, which is kind of crazy. So let's just pray that I don't get it. Oh! I thought the collision was going to be on my side there, but then I remember, oh yeah, Sonic game. I know they wanted it like to be a thing, but they were like, nah. All right, thank you, Win, for doing it for me. And now I'm going to try to get this pin in one cycle because it's going to want to move around. That is not safe.
That was good. Yeah, nice.
Ah, there's a one-frame trick where if I had done a spin dash right into Act 3, I would end up right over here instead of having to take that path going up. And here's that one little capsule trick. Oh, nope, not taking that. Let's try that again. Up.
Oh. Ah. At least it doesn't risk the soft lock.
Oh, yeah. There is a better chance that I would have soft locked if I had done it. In that angle, anyway. Yeah, 136. Oh, well. And now let's pray I didn't get the save file corruption. Oh, no, I did. Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Don't worry. I can save this. I got this. I have a backup save file already set. Fitting, guys, fitting. Thank God I put that in because I actually have not gotten that in like a couple years now. Here's how it should have went. There we go. You guys needed to see Sonic fall, I swear. Yeah, but what would have happened to cause the soft lock is this jump panel wouldn't have been there to like bring you up. And now another great boss, which is basically Oh No 2.
BB doesn't really roll off the tongue like.
I mean, Oh No kind of does as much as a. You just try hard enough. Also, hey, I got that skip. You can actually skip a little cutscene by just entering your own. Oh, I don't have the crystal ring in this save file. Oh well. Anyways, there you go. Okay, well, guess we'll do this. Oh, really? There we go. Yeah, you don't actually need to use the light dash for that. And now I'm using my light dash particles to hit the button under the chair, which is actually saved a few seconds.
The crystal ring would be convenient for the next boss coming up as well, Chaos 6, since it's a fight where you preferably do want to charge up the light speed attack since it deals double damage to Chaos.
Yeah.
And since the crystal ring halves the charge time, it does make the fight considerably faster.
Yeah. That's alright then. Also, I never actually did mention this, but you may notice that some voice clips aren't playing rather than others. It's because some voice clips in this version of the game for the PC Windows, it actually causes the game to stutter when they overlap each other. So I took out certain ones that don't cause that stutter because you can actually miss some cycles in some bosses like Egg Viper and Egg Hornet.
Yeah, like when it was doing the mashing in Egg Hornet, it can actually cause input drops, so you can miss a homing attack input.
Yeah. Because that stutter still has his vulnerability frames going through, and you can actually miss the cycle because of that. Anyways, Lost World. Remember Sonic Lost World? Well, this is just the stage itself, not the game. And the Lost World actually has a few really cool skips. I'm going to try to do a snake skip. I don't like snake skip, but I'm going to go for it because marathons are fun. And this fire pit of RNG. Oh, thank you, RNG. I love you. Wow. I was scared when I saw I didn't have rings, but oh well.
Yeah, this flame corridor is pretty much the only spot in the entire run that has extensive RNG, and it just managed to do it right there.
You can't have marathon without RNG. Anyways, we're going to go through this snake section here. I'm going to get that checkpoint in case I end up dying. Oh, I had it. Ah! I'm going to go for one more just because I felt good on that one. Yeah, I got it. And can I get this? Ah! Okay, what I just did there is called pause phasing, where if you pause and then right in front of certain objects, and then unpause, it actually has a few frames where those objects aren't technically loaded, so you can't just go right through them. And also, this room should be very dark, but I skipped a certain area to where the darkness really shows, so you just see full lightness. It's actually pretty neat, because at least on the other version of this game, like Dreamcast and GameCube, those rooms are very dark, and it is very hard to see where you're going. And now we're just going to pull a little Indiana Jones here, though, and do a little boulder section. And remember the gun truck from SA2? Well, this